you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Almost forgot what day it is with me being MIA yesterday. I feel much better, though. Man, I feel good today. Yesterday, I was just not feeling it. Monday, I thought I was feeling better. But, man, as I sat there, I was like, okay, I'm struggling. So thanks for bearing with me on Monday as much as y'all did. It was a little brutal. Morning. Hey, we have two Chris's in the house today. Two Chris Childers in the house. What's up, Chris? Chris and Chris. Chris, Corey, good morning. Will, Greasy, Tony. Waffles and coffee. Let's go. Good morning, John. Hey, did y'all see? I'm going to jump in my chart here in a second. But the government is open back up. Hey. Good morning. Good to see you. I don't want to mess up your name. Srivanth? I don't want to mess up your name. I'm sorry. I'm glad to see you, though. Glad to see you on the stream. Hey, thanks for being in the Discord. Just keep engaging. Like I say, we're all in there to help each other, motivate each other, encourage each other. It's not a toxic Discord, so you're not going to get any toxicity in there. I won't put up for that at all. If y'all notice, so the government opened back up, but I looked at the news. And it says NFP was released at 8:15 this morning. So it's no longer Friday. Today is NFP day, I guess. And we have big news at 10 a.m. ISM coming out at 10 a.m. Okay, good. I'll make sure and keep pronouncing it that way. But yeah, it's very interesting. So I guess today is NFP day, y'all. All right, so here's what the weekly... I'm going to skip the weekly chart and... go to the daily, or because this is the weekly. I mean, we are expanding down. We did have that wick up, but and today's Wednesday, so midweek, it's kind of where I expect a continuation in the direction. So if we open and went higher, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or at least Wednesday, Thursday, I expect expansion down. But however, we are leaving this wick here, so we'll see if we keep expanding down and have a close to complete a weekly profile. It's kind of, we're still in this area, right? So same thing on the daily. We're still in this area, but here's one thing I'm kind of observing here. So first of all, I'm looking to see if we're going to go up first today. But what I'm looking at, I would not be surprised if, look at all this like trend line liquidity we're building up here. And we still have this volume balance in this low. And if you look, we had a lot of smoothness here and we ran that. I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if one day we're here and we just go wham. And we just run through all that liquidity down there. Not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying to build your trade around that every day, but I would just not be surprised if I see that. Now, if you look here, we had these fair value gaps here become inversions, right? Got inverted coming down. What I'm looking at, and the reason why, I want to see at the open here. Are we going to, because we left these fair value gaps on the 4 hour, and we pulled up here. At the open, are we going to displace through these lows and hold here? If so, man, it might be a day where we, just go through some of that sell side liquidity there. However, if we don't displace lower and we take this high here, then I think we might try to work our way up and rebalance some of this that happened yesterday. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. And here on the 1 hour, not much. I don't have much on the 1 hour, but I do have this fair value gap right here. So if we do pull up, this is kind of where I'm looking, because if we're going to go lower on the day, we should go up first, right? So if that happens, I would want to see if we pull up into this 1 hour fair value gap and then displace lower. If we displace lower, then I think we're going to take a lot of that sell side liquidity. But if we come up through this 1 hour fair value gap above it and take this high, I think we'll try to make our way up to rebalance those imbalances. And I say that too because, well, now the market's open. Because if you go to the 15-minute, we have this big, I mean, you can look at this as a big old dealing range here, right? So like dealing range and equilibrium would be right up here under previous day mid, like the midpoint of yesterday. So we'll see. We are shooting down, so I'm very curious to see if we're going to displace lower. Now, of course, if that happens, I would prefer to see the market come up a bit first. But let's check here. Let's get rid of this 15-minute fair value gap because we traded through it, and I really didn't have anything obvious that we should shoot for on the long side, to be honest. Like, I really didn't. I only had, so we have this 5-minute one here. I only said that maybe we could go up to that 1 hour fair value gap. The only reason is because typically if we're going to go down, you really want to see manipulate a little bit, or at least go up first a little bit and then come down and expand. Doesn't always have to happen, as y'all know. It doesn't have to. But I look for that. So, see, if we go to the 4 hour now that the market's open, this is what I'm looking for right here. If we could take these lows and with displacement, like right in here, previous day low, if we could displace below that, we may just keep going. And I got to be careful with all this volatility when I switch my charts. Sometimes it gives me a little like data blip. So I've been refreshing quite a bit my chart. And then let's check the opening range gap. We do have an opening range gap here. We closed up there. We opened here. Opening range gap. And also we have a decent sized new day opening gap. I mean, it's not huge, but it's a decent size. We have the low of it at 387. The high of it right up here at 420. Oh, the ADP NFP. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I thought we had the regular NFP this Friday, but I noticed it was gone. I could be wrong. Because I glanced at it. All right, now here's the thing. So I don't want to be too quick or too soon either. So you can see right here, we did pull up into this fair value gap here when we opened. Or on our way here, we were up in here and then we dropped. So we stopped just short of previous day low, so I don't think we're going to stop there and leave that. So I think we're going to keep coming down. Sometimes it's just really hard for me to 2-3 minutes in after the open to take a short from right here. Uh-oh, y'all having trading view issues or Tradeovate? Can anyone else log into Tradeovate? Can't get logged in on Trading View. Huh, I'm logged in, but now I'm a little worried in case because I've been logged in for about 45 minutes. So hopefully nothing happened afterwards. Let's see. All right, because I think so. We haven't had. Sorry, we didn't displace lower here. So let me hold on. Sorry, let me pull up this chart here. We failed to go through here, but we still haven't came above this high. So I'm still waiting to see what we're gonna do. But this is gonna be a key for me. This fair value gap. If this becomes an inversion, we're gonna go lower, right here. So I want to see what happens in this fair value gap. Let me find out, y'all. Let's see what's going on here. I'm logged in, but I'm wondering if that's just because I've been logged in. Hey, Chris, do you see anything? Tradeify, Apex, Top Step, all down. That's lovely. Tradeivate. You're not being cool, Tradeivate. Futures desk 2. Okay. All right, well, that's enough. I mean, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of reports on it. I'd be careful, y'all. I'm trying to get with 1 second here. Yeah, it looks like Tradeivate's having issues, guys. Yep. Announcement coming. Ah. And you know, I'm probably logged in here because I'm probably fine because I use my live account. So I bet you it's just the prop firms. It's not live accounts. You too, Chris, you're good? Because Chris, you use your leader, your live as a leader. Oh no, wait. No, you use prop as your leader, right? You're fine. All right, I'm going to log out. Oh, you do use your live. Okay. Yeah, so maybe that's why we're fine. I'm going to log out real quick. I got to move my chart here because I don't want y'all to see my live account number. I trust y'all, but, you know. Let's see. Let me log out. I'm going to log back in to see. Yeah. I can't log back in. So, no good. So it's not just props. It's also live. It's just Tradeivate. I wouldn't trust it, Chris. Just because you're logged in and not getting kicked off, I wouldn't trust it to trade. Personally. Yeah, I get failed to log in internal server error. Yeah, but I have to. I'm not prepared for that to trade on Ninja, so I can't just wing it. Let's see. I'll make my adjustments here. Cause see, I gotta change my whole copier and everything if I'm gonna do that. But you see this fair value gap here. If we displace below it, this is what I'm watching. This one right here. Hey Munch, I love affordable indicators copier. It's to me it's very smooth. It's more smooth than any other copier I've dealt with. So it's very smooth. It executes very well. And they're constantly Joel over there is constantly looking to upgrade it, make it more efficient. So that's another thing I like. You get, all the updates. They have great customer service. So that's why I recommend affordable indicators. So yep, I would not. If you have Trade of 8 accounts, I would not trade them. Don't trade them. Here's the message. Here's the new message. Looks like there's a technical issue with Trade of 8 integration at the moment. We are currently in touch with the broker to resolve the issue so you can get back to trading. Sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah. Sorry won't cut it, buddy. I wonder if. What's the metals doing? I haven't looked. But what are they doing? Are they crazy? Eh. Nothing more than it's been. Well, I did open a NQ chart. I mean a Ninja chart. Let's see. And let's do this. Let's open up an Apex copier. Ah, crap. Hit the wrong button. Ah. I accidentally clicked strategy builder. Now it's trying to load something. Hey, yo, good morning. I'm with you, Will. It's killing me. It's killing me to open an NinjaTrader chart. When I have change, I don't like change off the fly on the fly. I hate it. I'm a structured person. Okay. Actually, huh. Yeah, there is 10 a.m. news. So watch that. I guess I'm not gonna trade my live account just because if there's a issue with Tradeovate and broker and actually no, you know what? It's Trading View having the issue, I think. Let me see. Because I bet you I could oh, so you can't log into Tradeovate on the website either? Hmm. I don't trust it. Yeah. I don't trust it. I would only trade Rhythmic. Yeah. I would only trade Rhythmic. I'm not even going to I won't even trade my live account. All right. Well, yeah, it's better off to not trade. Unless you got Rhythmic accounts, just don't trade. All right, so I'm technically set up to trade my Rhythmic since I have all Rhythmic except for my live account. But we have 10 minutes until the news. But I am watching, like I said, I was watching this fair value gap. I want to see it become an inversion. If it does, then I think we'll go lower. But be careful for that 10 a.m. news as well. Yeah, Tradeovate doing its trying to help out a little bit there. create some panic and excitement in all things. Let's go always on top here. Actually, no, because that's going to get in my way. It is a high impact news. Yeah, Max. A few more days to get that Lambo. Don't worry. Patience pays. Now, most of y'all are not trading, but I'm going to talk like we are. Where you got to be careful is this rejection wick, potentially rejection wick right here. And we're getting close to news. So, couple scenarios. If we take previous day low before news, then you got to be careful that it's not going to just come back up and just be a sweep on previous day low. Now, there's a little sibby here. Don't like it, though. I wanted to see if it'd pull back up to at least to this inversion in this fair value gap. But the closer we get to the news, you got to be careful. You logged in, no issue? Yeah. I have trust issues, though. I got to give it a minute. Now, as it pulls up into this area, you got to be careful for it to give us a little bissy here. We're about 4.5 minutes till news. So I'm more likely willing to just wait. And because of that, let me try to log in. Yeah, mine still doesn't let me. It still says trade evade maintenance. Trade evade maintenance. Let me refresh. Now let me try. Yep, still get the same thing. That's why I have trust issues. Playing games with me. See, we did not reach this fair value gap here. Got close, but here we go. We're so close to news, though. Usually when we're within inside 5 minutes of news, I typically like to wait. There's been times where I don't, but that's when I'm like super, super, super confident. But today is not really one of those days. Yeah, my account's live. My trading view Trade account is live. So yeah, all my Apex accounts are rhythmic, and my only Trade account is my live account. But you see, I could have looked for an entry out of this inversion and not cared about the fair value gap, which that's fine too. But I typically don't do that unless if I'm like really, really confident in something. And today, I mean, I was fairly confident that if we get this as an inversion, because I mentioned it early, if this is an inversion, we're just going to go down. But we were by the time I pulled up in here, we were inside that 5-minute window. And to be honest, this trade of 8 thing is putting me a little bit on the reserved side. So, but hey, like I said, if we come down and displace through that low, it's possible that we just make our way to continue down, down, down. Uh-oh. I might be able to log in. Here, let me get out of here because I don't want y'all to don't want to show off my actual live account number. Hey, I'm in. I'm logged back in. I am logged back in. So we're going to roll with it. News is out, y'all. News is out. Yeah, we're going to roll with it. I'm turning off closing out this Apex copier. Getting back to my normal here. So I'm assuming everybody got logged out of Trade Evade. I'm not sure if anybody stayed logged in other than Chris. Because if there's a technical issue, it's either just Chris or it's always just Chris that can either do it one way or the other. I know, Chris. You're the only person that stayed logged in. So just log back in. Maybe restart your account. Like if you're a Ninja Trader, disconnect, reconnect if you need to. Otherwise, should be good. All right. I mean, hey, this inversion would have been the trade. That inversion would have been in the trade right there. Let's see. Let's go to the 15-second and look at that. I mean, it still would have been because really, the 15-second confirmation, you would have been way down here as an entry. So even though it pulled up to here, there wasn't really like a nice 15-second confirmation at a good entry point. So, I mean, there's nothing that I'm really like that I missed out on. And then after that inversion, we've just flying straight down. So, and I have this sell side liquidity just from the looking left on this low point on the 15-minute chart here. I marked that as a sell side liquidity. That's why I had that there. Let's go and expand our view here and see what else we got going on. We have this daily swing low, and we have this big 1 hour fair value gap that we actually just traded all the way through it here. We just traded all the way through it. So, let's look at the 15-minute. We don't have any. We might get a fair value gap here, but that's still 12 minutes. So, I'm not really expecting a big pullback. But you got to be careful, though, because we have a fair value gap here, a SIBI. We have a SIBI here, SIBI here. What you can do is you could take the leg. So if it does start pulling back, you could take this entire leg from here to wherever it stops and measure that out and at least look for it to pull back into the premium of that leg before taking a trade. So like at least up into here. Doesn't mean it won't go short from here, but if you want to be safe or if you're really confident in using the 15-second confirmation, you can. If you really think it's going to continue lower. So like here. I really think we're going to head down to this swing low, but doesn't mean we'll do it right this second either. So this is where you got to be careful of it pulling back. Yeah, Chris has levers he pulls. He just doesn't tell anybody. So I'll be looking more so at about this area, this 120, to see if we come back below that. But you got to think, even though this looks like a small look, if I took a trade right here around 119, 120 to go short, this little swing up here is 165. That's 45 points. Like, it doesn't look like it, but this is where people get messed up. Like, because this down, like, it doesn't look like a big stop, but then you end up throwing your stop way up here. You don't even realize it, but you might be throwing up like a 50-point stop without realizing it. And if it does pull up higher, you're going to get whacked. And you're going to look at your P&L and you're going to be like, holy crap, what happened? Well, you actually had a very, very big stop and didn't realize it. So either wait for another trade, or wait for just let the market play out, settle down. Because high impact news, it's only been 5 minutes after it. So like, let's just give it a second here. Because, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. Just give it a second. It just ran a bunch of sell side liquidity here. Even though I don't have a very strong reason for it to come all the way back up, just let it play out a little bit. It could come back into any of this area. And that's where sometimes I'm okay with letting this work. You know, we've had this accumulation here. Then we ran down. We may need another accumulation before continuing down. Or we may need to kind of pull up into some of this here. So because of that, and we know it might not, right? It might not do all that. But because of that, I would be a little more comfortable either waiting for it to come back up into this this area, or letting it displace again with another fair value gap. And then I'll look to go take that. Because what you don't want to do is, like I said, get in something here, and then it wants to pull up and take you out, and then that's where it pulls up, and then you see it just continue down. You're like, oh man, I got stopped out, and and it kept, and it went, it still went, it went to where I thought it was gonna go. And I say that out of experience because it's happened to me many times in the past, and I would look at it and say, man, it took me out, but it went to where I thought it was going to go. I'm just glad Trade of 8 didn't have a bigger issue than we thought. It looks like it was just the connection, the logging in. All right, so here we are up into this. So see what I mean? This is where oftentimes you'll see it do this, and you can measure out the leg and see how it went right up into this one here. So now I want to watch and see if it wants to come down from this one or not. But see, here's another thing you got to keep your eye out, because now if we do stay up here in the next 30 seconds, we're going to create this BISI. And when we have a BISI here, I'm not looking to long that. I'm looking to see it become an inversion. Just like this one up here. I want to see it become an inversion. Now, doesn't mean it will, right? It could use it and keep going up, but I need the market to show me that first. Because yes, we do have this technically as an inversion, and you'll get a lot of people go long with this inversion as it pulls back into here. I'm not convinced yet. Yeah, if the times that I do certain things, like if I'm, and that's why I say that a lot about being convinced. Like, there's times where you'll see that it's very obvious where price needs to go, where it's trying to go, and I have no doubt it's going to go there. Doesn't mean it will, but when I'm very convicted in, man, I know price is going to this area. Like, for example, if I had a reason up here that I'm like, I know price is going to go up there. We're just looking at manipulation down. Price is going to get up there. If I have that conviction, I don't today, but there's days that I do. And if I did, that's whenever I'd look at this like, okay, we did our draw on liquidity. Here's an inversion, right here. Here's a BISI. When we pull down to here, I'm going to go long because I know it has to get up there. Like, there's days that are like that. Today's not one of those days for me. So that's why I have to wait to see right here what it does. Because, yeah, if it comes back here and it does start making its way up, then I let the market convince me. So that's a lot of what I do. I have a expectation before they open, and I anticipate that. And then if it doesn't go as anticipated, then I really need the market to convince me otherwise. And that's what, really helps me with my patience and not just jumping in a bunch of different things. And then also that's why I take one loser and I'm done. Well, for the most part, as long as, it's within my money management. But if I take a loser of 30 points and it's just like completely not what I expected, then I'm like, hey, I saw the market wrong. I have no business taking more trades. Like, it was not what I thought it was. So let me just come back another day. Like, I don't want to force correct, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to force it. Y'all know, if you've been following me long enough, I got a saying that I say, if I lose, it's either because of me, because of the market, or both. But what I don't want to do is try to figure out why by taking more trades. Yeah, try to keep it simple. Try to keep it simple. And I think really, when we get into our own heads, that's when we make it more difficult. And there are some days that the market is tough. Like some days the market's tough. And if we just eliminate those days we have a saying in basketball where we do what we can to stop the other team, right? We take things away defensively. And if they score by taking the tough shots that we give them, the tough areas, and they can beat us that way, we shake their hand. Like, man, they got us, right? So some days, if the market's tough, shake the market's hand. Hey, you got it today. It's tough. You got it. I shake your hand. I'm done. We can't get into we got to win every day. That's an ego thing. Live to fight another day. All right, so we're coming back down. See, we were in all of these like imbalances here, right? Like this is all imbalances. And there's not an area that I'm looking to short through there because where does it turn around? We don't know. But what I do know is, if we invert this one, then I'm confident. Or, like I said, if we come down to it, this area, anywhere in here, and then it just continues to show us that it's going to go long, then I flip it. Meaning I flip my bias, because right now my bias is I'm going to hold on to us going down and continuing to potentially here. Let me take another look at some higher time frames real quick just to confirm. Okay. Yeah, but at this point, Chris, I need to look at higher time frames. Like 5 minute, yeah, it's cool that this is, well, actually, I mean, we already rebalanced this 5 minute. We haven't inverted it, but we rebalanced it. So what I'm looking, come over here. Look where the bodies are closing. So that's what you got to look at. We wicked down. Wicked down, but look at the bodies. The body closed here, wicked down here. We may create a fair value gap here, but we still have 45 minutes. So now at this point, I want to see, was this just a little sweep and we're going to rebalance this? Or is this going to be displacement where we took these lows and we're going to get this fair value gap? Because also, let's go to the 4 hour, like what I was talking about earlier. We potentially could be getting that displacement, but we're not going to know during this morning session if this is going to be a fair value gap here. But we did take these lows, and what I want to see, because this could be also a rejection wick right here. So you want to be careful of this. Oops. Right here. You see the midpoint of it right here. So we stayed in the upper portion. So it's being a bit hesitant. I mean, I do lean more towards still coming down, but it's got to show me. Like, it's got to show me. So at the moment, I'm a little neutral. I want it to show me. I think more likely we're still going to come down, but you just got to be careful because the only thing under this sell side liquidity I have marked here on the higher time frames right now is just wicks. And the wicks do the damage. Don't forget, the wicks do the damage. $295 on MNQ. It's possible. I still don't have a real strong reason for it to come up. So it could just be... Again, this is going to be my key right here. This fair value gap. Do we invert it? I'm not doing anything until this becomes an inversion to the short side. And this is where, like, today, I mean, it's not, nothing's, like, extremely obvious. So, when you don't have anything extremely obvious, even, like, earlier in the week, I didn't have anything, when you don't have anything extremely obvious before the open, that's where you just got to have patience and just kind of read it the way I'm explaining here. Because as long as you do that, you won't fall into traps and like